Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would sit here in my dressing gown and talk to you about my alopecia story. This is something I've wanted to film for quite a while now. When I first lost my hair, I wished there was more videos of people talking about their hair loss experiences and how they dealt with it and all their dark times. I wish now I was more prepared for what was to come. It's not just a simple case of you lose your hair and that's it. You lose your hair and you've got this complete new identity change that you have to accept. So we'll get straight into the story. I started to lose my hair in July 2016. I was 16, just about to turn 17 on the 2nd of August. I had friends over. My mum was on holiday at the time, so I was home with my brothers. And me and one of my friends were in the toilet having a chat. She looked at me and pointed at me and was like, "Oh, you've got a bald patch." And we both started to laugh. And then I looked in the mirror and realised that I really did have a bald patch, and it was right in the centre of my parting. At this initial point I was so confused. I personally didn't even know what alopecia was at the time. So I went upstairs and I FaceTimed my mum, crying my eyes out like, "Mum, I'm losing my hair and I don't know what's wrong." So she told me I need to get a doctor's appointment. So I did the next day. My friend came with me to the doctor's. My doctor turned around and was like, "What's the problem?" I was like, "Well, my hair's falling out and I don't know what it is. I don't know why." And he looked at me and went, "No, it's fine, it will grow back," and sent me away. So what had happened is, I know through my experience, when I first started to lose my hair, it was obviously coming out in patches, and in the patches it looked like regrowth because it was really, really prickly. And long story short, it means that your alopecia is active. Little did I know that this hair was yet to fall out. It was super short and spiky. My doctor was useless and sent a 16-year-old girl away to deal with her hair loss. Didn't offer counselling or steroid cream or nothing, just brisked me away. That week I spent every single night with one of my friends and she stayed with me. She brushed through my hair every night and plaited it. Every time we found more patches, she would cut some of her hair out, and my brother was shaving parts of his head, and everyone really tried to support me. So then if we jump forward to the September, by this point I'd lost 70% of my hair. I was pretty broken. I was trying to carry on through being positive and being the bubbly person that I am, but I was breaking. My mum took me to a wig place. We were looking around because I knew I was going to have to get my first wig. I literally had a handful of hair all sprayed out in a hat. And this is the first time that I'd showed someone what I looked like without my hat when we were sitting in the chair in the salon. And the woman looked at me and was like, "So you can get your wigs now and just wait for the rest of your hair to fall out, or you can get your wigs now and shave your hair off and we'll do it for you." So I decided that I was going to get my head shaved, which was the most daunting thing I've ever done. I still to this day think it was the hardest thing about my alopecia journey. I can still feel the clippers on my head and how I felt at that exact moment, because I kind of knew that it was real. I knew in my stomach that my hair wasn't going to grow back. So I got my head shaved and I put my wig straight on because I didn't want to look at myself. And then we got home and I definitely didn't want to look at myself. I was I was destroyed. I thought that I'd look like a man and that I wasn't going to be attractive anymore. I felt like I'd just lost all my femininity, however you say it. Which wasn't the case, but at the time that's how I felt. And it didn't matter how many people said to me how beautiful I was and how much my head was so good to be bald, like my head shape was good. I didn't believe it. It took me about 3 days to actually look in the mirror. The evening I got back from having my head shaved, I put a picture on Facebook of my shaved head, because I got 2 wigs. I got a brown one and a blonde one, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get so many questions. I really didn't want to have to say to someone, yep, I've got alopecia, and then deal with the whole fallback of that. So I bit the bullet, put a photo on Facebook and a caption just explaining, and the response was incredible. I still to this day, like, I'm so appreciative of everyone that made me feel so good in such a bad time. After this, it kind of just became the norm. I guess I was just plodding along. I was a 17-year-old girl that was going out with her friends and meeting boys. I was really struggling with the whole carry on with normal life. I hit an all-time low in January 2017, and I was severely depressed. I felt like it was old news, so I couldn't talk about it, I couldn't be sad about it. And this was all in my own head. Like, I had so many people I could have spoken to about it, but I stopped. I thought people were sick of me being sad about it all the time. So I might get a bit emotional. Oh. And I tried to take my own life, and luckily I was all fine. But this was, I think, the biggest turning point in my life, because I realised that I have to make a decision. I either hate myself for the rest of my life and stay in the house and not do anything, or I get up and I push myself through it and see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry. I don't really talk about it, so I guess now it's all bringing it back. I did. I got up and I decided that this wasn't going to ruin my life anymore. I started telling myself every single day that I was beautiful and I could do it. I'd look at myself in the mirror and be like, "Elle, you're worth it," and all that cringe stuff, but it really worked. Wish I had more people to speak to. I didn't know anyone else with alopecia other than my friend's mum, who helped me so much. I didn't feel like I could talk about it for some reason. I didn't think it was okay to carry on discussing, and that's where I went wrong, because when you lose your hair, you go through the biggest identity change. You go from getting on with your life and then bam, and your hair's coming out, and it all happens so quickly, and you don't know how to, I guess you could say, grieve your hair, which I feel like I took so for granted. Right, and now we're gonna fast forward to, I think it was February, March time, 2019. It was probably my proudest moment. I decided to start an alopecia Instagram. To start with, I didn't have any of my friends or family on it. I kept it completely secret and private, which was amazing for me, because at this point I was like, I can talk to people, I can put pictures of my bald head up, because everyone else is bald or losing their hair, and everyone helps everyone. So I did this, and it really was the best thing I've done. I have met so many amazing people and read so many stories. It has been amazing, and it is definitely one of the things I'd recommend if you're struggling, you don't know who to reach out to. Set up an Instagram, even if you don't want to post pictures of yourself. There are so many girls and guys with Instagrams dedicated to alopecia, and you will realise so quickly that everyone's feeling how you're feeling. And I think that was the best thing for me, to realise that everyone was struggling with losing their eyelashes and losing their eyebrows and not knowing what products to use, and looking for wigs and not knowing what wigs to get and what's good and what's bad, or your head's itching, how do you solve that? And there's just so many people that make you feel good about yourself, and it has been the best thing for boosting my confidence. I feel like I have changed so much as a person, really accepting my hair loss because of Instagram. Now, in April 2020, I feel so grateful for the fact that I got alopecia. I'm so thankful, because I wouldn't be the person I am today without it. I was a girl that didn't even know what alopecia was. I was so naive to the world. Now I'm not. I've lost my hair, I've lost my eyelashes, I've lost my eyebrows, and I'm okay with it all. I'm a better person I am now than I was 4 years ago. So I feel like it's a bit of a necessity to take my hair off in this video, considering I'm preaching about self-love and confidence and all that jazz. So this is my little bald head. I love my bald head, because I do. I feel like it's part of me. This is my new identity. Alopecia has taught me to love myself, dragged me through the hardest times in my life. I've had to accept that I have to love myself no matter what, and so do you. You need to look in the mirror and think, do you know what? I am beautiful and I can get through today. And don't get me wrong, it is okay to have bad days, because I do. My anxiety goes through the roof and I struggle. You have a decision, and you either smile and make it work, or you get yourself into a really dark place, and nobody wants that. I want you to smile, I want you to be happy, and I want you to love yourself. I don't want anyone to feel how I felt, and I know hundreds and thousands of other girls and guys have felt. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope this even helps just one person. I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.